where what's real will be talked about.
All right. Players mess up. Players mess up.
They do indeed. They do indeed.
What's going on with you?
You know, I've had a hard week. May I vent
Yeah?
for a second?
Let's go for it. Get it off your chest.
So, I do recruiting, right?
I do.
So, we had a strike. So, hey, Kia, we was missing you last week for real. So we had a strike, and the strike is typically like you get the 10-day notice, and with that 10-day notice, you have to, get everything together, get all of the staffing together or whatever. Long story short, we had to staff about 1,600 people,
Sheesh.
and it's nonstop from flights to transportation from the airport to the hotel to the hospital to pay to
Yeah.
everything under the sun. So I was locked down for 10 days straight. And then they saying we might have another one next week. So I got my head done, but I took it down in like 2 weeks because it was hurting.
Oh, man.
So I'm looking real Ben Harbor-ish, but I'm okay.
Ha!
I'm
Ben
all right.
Harvest.
I'm looking awfully Benton Harbor-ish.
That's funny.
It was dark. You ain't even tell me that. How you been? How was your Easter?
It was good. Easter was that was a week. You was a little late, dear. Easter was cool.
I mean, did we talk since Easter?
Easter wasn't Sunday, was it?
No, but I'm saying, did we talk about Easter?
Oh, well, no. It was cool. Had a couple people over. I know. Had a couple people come through. Got some food, ribs, chicken, pork chops, macaroni. Regular Sunday dinner type stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. Had a good time.
Set it out. Set it out.
Yeah, I had a pretty good time. How about you?
I think I just chilled. I cooked, but I just
What you
chilled.
made?
Baked mac and cheese, yams,
Oh, nigga.
and I think some fried chicken. I think fried
You say
chicken.
mac and cheese, like homemade or box?
No,
Tell the
homemade.
truth.
Homemade. Ain't nobody got
So it's
time
time
to be
you come
fun.
out here though. I got a whole kitchen that needs some macaroni made in it. God
See,
bless.
when I come out there, that be vacation, not work time.
It's still, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
I'm running late. I feel like I hadn't had a chance to talk to you. We didn't pregame like we normally do.
I know. I knew something was going on because you usually call, but I just figured, we so good at what we do.
I know, but I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that no more. So I'm about to call you on my, like when I'm driving type of thing or something.
Shit happens. But I got you.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know, Kia, like, especially grown folk. Like, I can't be making no box mac and cheese.
Right. Now, you know what? Now, let me take that back because I will make it.
Like on the regular dinner.
Like cooking. Yeah. If I don't feel like cooking,
I agree.
I do the blue box. The craft. Or do you do the yellow?
I do the yellow.
I do the blue boy.
I do the yellow.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody over here? She said nobody makes box. Oh, disrespect.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like only not on no holiday. Like on a quickie.
Yeah.
Get it done. Get them fed. She said, "Kenna disown her."
Dang.
Even on a quick night.
You mess these kids up. And I need to call the people on you for trying to take her to get her shot. That's just dirty. Kia.
What happened?
She took little Ken to get a shot for something and had her in there about to have a heart attack.
Was it something she had to do?
I mean, it probably was, but so what?
He gonna call the people for her being a good mama.
Yep. It don't hurt that baby. I'm a girls, man. I don't think I
Right.
ever even met her. I just know her mama.
I feel like we all know Kennedy through. Oh, mac and cheese is her favorite. That's my baby
Yeah, me
boy.
too.
That's my baby
That's
boy.
mine too. Yeah. So, are we preparing our kids for the future? What do you think?
Um, I think that we try. I think some rebel, i.e., kids,
Oh yeah,
against
absolutely.
how the parent would advise them, to move. But I think some really, really try until they just be like, all right, enough is enough. Do what you want.
Facts.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing a job. I feel like we're failing our kids slowly but surely because we want them to be, stand up people in the world. We want them to be men and women of honor, but I don't think we give them enough responsibility, and I don't think we hold them to the fire enough. I think we make it easy for them in too many ways, usually in the form of overcompensation. Like if the father's not around, the mama, usually would, do a little more extra. That's it, that because she feels bad, type of stuff, and vice versa. So I don't think we're on it how we should be. I think our intentions are good,
All right.
just like I think our parents' intentions were good.
So, what would you suggest? Like, okay, if it was you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What would you suggest one do? Because I know you were saying that you don't really care too much about kids speaking their feelings. Like, that's not, I ain't gonna say that's not important to you, but what's your stance?
Yeah, I don't mind them expressing themselves. I don't give them the opportunity for everything. That's my thing. So like if there's 10 things they may, voice their opinion on two or three versus um, carte blanche to just do and say whatever you want whenever you feel. I don't do that. And I think that kind of helps. I think the adverse um ruins them as adults. They don't know when to shut up. They don't know when to speak. Like we've had to learn. Folks like us who don't, we talk a lot. Um, we've had to learn the hard way about when to shut up at work or in relationships or whatever. And I think us allowing our kids to just say whatever they want whenever they want, not like whatever, like they're clearly not gonna cuss us out type of stuff, but like always, voicing their opinion when they don't like something. I don't think that's setting them up for the world. I feel like we do that as an overcompensation because our parents didn't allow us too much type of thing.
I can see where you're coming from. Kia said, I'm failing my child because she thinks money grows on trees. Trying to teach her how to save is my struggle.
Woo-wee.
They just don't care about it right now. As
Yeah.
much as we know how important it is for them, like, because my husband has been working on my son since he was about 13. He almost 17 now. Got checking, got savings, work, but he would rather Uber eat than going there and fry pork chop. Or I don't like the way pork chops taste. I don't like the way it feels. So now you don't have money and you have to get someplace. Them boots were made for walking.
Hey, listen
That's
here.
just what you're gonna do.
You gotta
Because
figure it out.
when you had that money, you wanted to eat when it was food in there. So I think my husband spoiled our baby boy a little bit more than I did. And now he regrets it, I think. Because again, he got his phone bill that he's responsible for paying. Because you working for what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
just to put your money in your pocket and I'm constantly spending mine. Like,
No, sir.
no, you're not my pimp.
I got a little piece of hair sticking in it. It look weird.
It's great too.
Dang. Oh,
Um, but I think, like I said, I think we try. I really think we try. I think it's hard because some parents just want to be liked, you know?
I think that's a very big issue for us. We want to make sure, because I get the desire. I think I do, because our parents didn't really care if we liked them.
No.
It was like do this and do that, and that's it.
Mm.
And there were clearly some instances where, had they been a little more friendly, we would probably be better off in a lot of ways. But I do think that us trying to make our kids our friend, they don't. To me, my friend is somebody who can check me.
But I mean, but that's your definition too, though, brother. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, some people only got their kids. Like, that's all they have. Say,
Yeah.
i.e., military. Like, when me and Eric was in Texas, I had nobody. So, no, I wouldn't, hey, let's go hang out type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it was like that they all I had, so I had to pour so much into them. Um, I get where you coming from, but I also see that other side because I was on that other side too. And some people can just establish that with the respect behind it. Like I told you, like we talk, but they don't cuss. But I still consider them my homies. Like I do. Like I really do. I do. And then I was looking at the definition when Marcus had put it up, and I was like, well, shit. Everything the definition said is pretty much what me and the kids do.
Marcus and TA, are y'all gonna put them up again for us so we can make some clarifications? Yeah, I'm not necessarily judging those that do it differently than I do. For a lot of reasons, I know how I think is not conventional in most ways. I really truly understand that. I know I'm very opinionated, and I speak very dramatically. And how I do it, just how I do. But this is what
Right.
I'm talking about. I do feel like not only can my friends check me, but my friends have relevant information. They know how, if I'm complaining about another building came out, a friend can empathize, whereas kids can't. You know what I'm saying? No, the definition for a friend, right? That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, friends to me are friends just mean something different. Like friends are friends. Like I think I have a really good relationship with my kids. I think I do.
I agree.
They're my kids
I think
to
it's
me.
also a man way of looking at it too. I think a man fears that their children will blur those lines, right? I think I remember
That's
saying this to
one.
you before.
Yeah, that's
Like
one
I
definite
think
fear.
that they try to keep it on that nigga. I'm dad. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Whereas a mom, well, me anyway, like I don't really have to say nothing or do nothing, as a lot of moms probably only have to give a look, and they know I'm no longer playing. But it's never gotten to the point to where it's like, all right, y'all know what? I can't, y'all taking it too far. It's never been like that. I have seen some moms that get their ass beat by their kids too. Like that's the part that I don't necessarily understand, but not
yeah.
judging, just don't understand. Um, I just so those are the ones that I feel like, okay, yeah, I get where he coming from. But sometimes like kids we need somebody logical to talk to. And sometimes it be about sensitive subjects. And I know a lot of men just be like, go talk to your mama, or I ain't your friend, go. But then so when they go and talk to their friend and their friend tell them to do something so fucked up, what do you do as a parent? Like what do you do?
You parent them,
How
you
long you
know,
gonna parent?
forever. You'll be a parent forever. I do feel like the relationship changes after they leave. Like your duties change. I feel like you become more of a coach than like a team leader, like somebody that's driving. Go do this, do this, do this, do this. That's what we do until they leave. It's this. And well, until they, old enough to where you don't have to no more. But then after they leave, it's just like, yo, daddy, this, that. Oh, well, here's my advice on that. You know what I'm saying? I think it changes, but like, I don't think it's good to just to make them your friend because other kids are stupid like they are. You know what I'm saying? Like because they don't get the most logical advice from their friends. They're not really supposed to. They kids. You know what I mean? They're supposed to bounce around a little bit, trying to figure out what's up. I just feel like I feel like one of the reasons for maintaining that separation is because it'll also help them in as adults. Knowing how to separate your friends from business or your boss at work from somebody else because they've always known clear cut boundaries. And I do feel like sometimes, especially even in schools with the teachers, the boundaries aren't clear no more because the teachers are 22, 24 now, and that respect is not usually there. In our kids today, I don't know. I don't subscribe to the friend, kids being your friend. But I could definitely see, like how you say, like they've all you had at one point. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got closer to them in that area. And I do feel like a bunch of people make their kids their friend for that reason because they didn't have any other adults around
Right.
necessarily in that moment. I don't think that's a good way to raise them. I think we should keep this separation. But like I said, this is just what we talking about. This is
All
how I
right.
feel about it.
Because I've seen some kids that was on, the strictest don't this, don't that, and don't go to their parents' house at all because they
Facts.
don't know how to get over, how they were raised or how their parents done it, even at 30, 35, 40 years old. So it's like the damage or the trauma that it couldn't cause, not knowing how to, because again, you can't parent forever. You can't. Some can't advise, some can't coach, some can't guide because they're so warped. You feel me? Like, so again, they would prefer to just steer clear. Um, I just always wanted them to have a safe haven. My lines never blurred. I think it's a lot of moms or a lot of parents that's established, I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were saying that it is clear cut, you know. Um I don't know. I just feel like now in age, it's so much going on that they just need a sound, safe spot to, you know, be. Shit, sometimes it don't even be the parent that introduced the friendship. It be things that other kids introduce and they come to you and talk to you about it. So now you can open up a whole nother book of worms. You can't always tell a kid, don't worry about that. Like, I was talking to Marcus earlier, and he was saying that his kid kept asking him how old he was, you know, and that bothered him because he felt like the child shouldn't have worried about how old his father was or whatever. And me, I'm like, well, what was the big deal? Like, why you couldn't just say I'm 26, I'm 32, like,
Right.
so I don't know. Um, friend, a person whom one knows and Mm, sorry.
All
A
right.
person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual and family relations. That's kind of far fetched, but that's the
All right.
definition.
Yeah. On the on the same token of there are some parents who can't advise and they can't you know coach per se. There's also parents that can't befriend their kids.
For sure.
And I think there are far more of those than people are, able to admit, because I don't think any person, even if the world sees their relationship as not good or they can't be a good friend, I don't think nobody today can be like, yeah, I'm probably not the best friend, or the best person to be a friend, because people don't really think that what they're doing is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even as parents, like, if you don't, like, there's nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, how come you don't get no friends? You're somebody, not you specifically, where, like, if you're that type that don't have no friends, and you have to rely on your kids as friends. Like, for me, like, I keep saying this is for me. I think I have a pretty decent relationship with my kids, and we talk about different things, all kinds of things. I don't know, safe space. I don't really subscribe to that. Uh, I think it means the same thing I think it means, but I just don't like all these soft titles that we give us stuff today.
Well, when you have a kid that don't know how to handle certain pressures and start cutting themselves, you have to try to step in and make sure that that doesn't turn fatal. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you have to convert and make sure that you fit into those creeks and crevices that some may be uncomfortable fitting in. You know what I'm saying? So I do think a lot of people throw bullshit on titles.
That's what
Let,
I'm saying.
let me
That's
just
my
say that.
point.
I
That is
do
my point.
I do feel like a lot of people do that. And I'm the first one to say if one is fucked up, then one is just fucked up. Like
Right.
it just is what it is. But what I'm speaking of is kids who really, really don't know how to handle the pressures. I'm talking about of the slightest thing. So then you have to take them in and get them diagnosed, in my opinion, because it's not always, oh, you
Yeah, yeah.
just slow, or oh, you just, sometimes it really is some messed up wiring.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
those are the ones that I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the parents that's just mad scared of their kids, or the parents who just feel like, it's easier to hang out with my daughter. I'm gonna be the first one to take my daughter to the club, dress them all up at 16, 17 years old, do the whole nine or whatever. I think that's really weird. Um, so do you toggle between friend and parent? I can't do that. I think for me, I'm always mom, right? So the respect is always required. That's not negotiable. But sometimes a situation does not cause for me to always wear my mom hat. Sometimes I need to cock it to the side and just let it hang out. You feel me? Yeah. So sometimes you just, I need to do that because, for instance, my son is transitioning right now. Like he's trying to find his way. And he'll tell me in a minute, well, mommy, the way you and pops want me to do it may not be the way that I want to do it. So as a parent, do you continue to push or do you back off and you let him find his way? Right? Your initial parental reaction is to make sure that they good. That's just your initial. But then you have to remember, all right, well, it's not really causing for me to be a mom right now. This is more of, as you say, like the coach. Okay, so what are you doing now? Okay, so what's your plan now? What's your next move now? So but that's hard for some people because some people just controlling the shit.
I do agree. People are controlling. I feel like this type of stuff sounds like when there was a good little while when there was ladies swear like, I'm mama and daddy. I got to put on the mama hat and the daddy hat. No, it's a good mom. To me, I don't make you a man because daddy wasn't there and you had to teach him how to ride a bike. It makes you a good mom. And the same, like for me, it doesn't make them a friend or vice versa because they got challenges that you are seeing too. You know what I'm saying? That makes you a good parent to me, not necessarily a friend, because a friend's relationship should be Not necessarily equal all the time, but for the most part, it should be. What can they do for you besides give you them hugs? Not necessarily like what can they do besides that? Like there's nothing. But as a friend, I don't. I see everything you've called off, and there's a few people I've spoken to about this, about how they see themselves as their kid's friend. They're just good parents, and I'm not trying to minimize it. Like good parents is like ain't enough, but you're a good parent, not necessarily the father because he ain't there, or the mom because she ain't there, or the friend because neither one of y'all got none. To me, is you're a good parent. So I just see it. I don't know. Like this conversation clearly is not to make people do some things
Question.
differently, but at least hopefully people can think, because I do feel like the long-term effects of that kind of mindset will definitely have an effect on their adulthood, on how they see because like as a parent, like you have their back when nobody else won't. You can say
Not
I ain't
all
studying
though.
you.
Not all.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. You have their back, like just like I do. I'm gonna definitely have mine. Even when I'm like, I ain't studying y'all. Leave me alone. I'm done. Leave me alone. Like, don't call me. They can call me. You know what I'm saying? But friends, I can be like, it's a little different. Like for how I see a friend, I think maybe just completely different. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I do feel like your view on it is just as a lot of men, like they just feel like I'm dad. You feel me? Like, what are you contributing? As you said, like you can't check me, all of that. And like I told you the last time, maybe friend is the wrong word, which is why I said a open space or a safe space, because I can't front like I don't make it comfortable for them to just come plop down on the couch and just talk about whatever is bothering them at said time.
Yeah.
I won't lie and say that I don't, because I definitely do. But I don't know. It's more of my husband being like, I wish that they would do that with me.
Mhm.
You know,
That might be that sounds like some internal stuff that you and him gotta kind of figure that part out. I know. So like I don't call that the safe space type of stuff, but my kids, both of them, I'm putting them both on blast. They both will come sit on the tub while I'm on the toilet and talk to
that's
me.
so funny.
And I'm putting them both on blast.
That's so
But they
funny.
definitely do. So I feel like we may be doing the overall same thing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I just feel like,
I just don't look at it in a strict parental way. 100%. And mind you, again, my children are older. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm talking from, so Nakia, let me ask you, because I know Destiny is, older, and Kennedy is your baby. So are y'all relationships, well, I know they're different, but what I'm trying to say, Emery,
how are they different?
like pretty much.
You want to call her? Make her call in. Can you call in? Is she still on? Kia, if you can we put the number in there for her?
It's on there.
Dang,
Emery love to call in, y'all.
I do. It's dope. Long as you don't pose as my niece this week, we good.
Ain't nobody post. It's your niece. You just ain't read it right. Her last name Brown too.
Yes,
Oh wow.
yes. The picture definitely looked different. I'm like, maybe she just put some more.
Knew something different.
I felt stupid. I can't even lie. So, another part of the parenting that I really wanted to talk about is mama's boys and daddy's girls. I know we've touched on this topic on some other topics, um, but as far as parenting, as far as if we're equipping them for the future, I feel like that hurts us so badly. I'm gonna speak about the father, mother, but daddy's girls. initially. I feel like, and I know I'm gonna just start it off because I know I'm a woods for little girl. I know it. And I would pray to God. I'm glad I don't have girls, but I would want somebody to kick me in my butt and say, "Bro, chill out," because I would probably do the same thing that most other men do with their, daughters. But I do feel like it's ruining them. Like, so you do everything for them. You take their cars to get washed, get the oil changed because they don't be knowing it'd be like 2,000 miles over. Get the tires rotated, just give them money, stuff like that. And you've done that, and I feel like the reason we do it is to show them what a man is supposed to do. That's what we're thinking when we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? When we do it, we think that's how it's supposed to go. This is what we want our daughter's man to do for her. The problem is daddy is okay with a side hug. Daddy, I love you, thank you. He's okay with that. And if she don't do nothing, he's still gonna do it. Which is, not at all how it works in a romantic relationship. It's gotta be give and take. And to the same, tone I was talking about earlier, it's like that stuff is cool in the moment, but as they're grown and as they're adults, that's gonna backfire because they're gonna keep looking for their daddy in every guy. That doesn't mean that guy may not be good for him. I mean, for her, sorry, but she's just used to always getting her way. Overall, always used to, daddy will do it. I call my daddy. Well, my daddy would have done stuff like that, and that ruins our girls. I can't tell you how many people I've encountered who are like that, who are struggling to maintain, like they don't even put two and two together. Like they kind of feel like because they have their daddy in their life, they kind of have a leg up on the girls who don't have a daddy in their life, and it's a little more arrogance that comes with it. If you're my age and your daddy's still doing all that.
I feel like it's a double-edged sword. I feel like you got some men that makes their daughters daddy girl, and you got some men that makes their daughters too masculine.
Right. Yeah, but
So
I want to get to that part, but I don't want to roll over this part to get to it though, because I think this happens a lot more than is ever really talked about when it comes to them spoiling their daughters too much and ruining them for any romantic relationships.
I mean, okay. I feel like shit. I still feel like it's a double-edged sword because she could at whatever point be like, "All right, let me cut it, let me move on, let me make it, for
Her
what
cut
it
what?
is."
Cut her daddy off?
Not cut her dad off, but cut those expectations at that point
How's she supposed to do that? She
because
don't
you're an
know nothing
adult
else.
now.
But if you don't know nothing else, you know nothing else all your life except for daddy say this is how a man's supposed to do it.
But what you can't tell me is that when the man come into her life and tell her your dad doing too much or whatever, she's not aware of that once he come and let her know,
Not initially. That's got to be an ongoing argument for some years.
or that's just what you've
We can call it
witnessed.
that. That we can call it that.
Okay.
In my experience, that does not that's not a light switch that comes on. If you're 30, 40 years old and your daddy, who's a great guy, he's been there for you at your rock bottom, all this other stuff. That's not no switch that just cuts right off because some guy come along and say, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that." Who will just say, "Oh, I've had it this comfortable all this time. I'm going to struggle now." It's not happening.
So those are the individuals.
See,
What?
I'm reading what she said. You cannot tell me that my dad was wrong about anything.
Well,
And he was. But
I'm almost
I get it.
positive it was some stuff that
There
he was
is.
wrong about. Like just like you saying that he take her car and wash it and fill it or whatever. It's a lot of men that don't do that for their wives, but will
Yeah,
do
but
it
I'm
for
not
their.
trying to mix those. I really.
I'm not mixing anything. What just hear me out, Em. That causes friction and make between the wife, the mom, stepmom, and the daughter. So then that's a whole nother waterfall of her feeling like she's superior. That was a question.
Oh, then yeah. But those things happen. Like there are plenty women who are married to men who have daddy's girls, and they're jealous. There's always fighting and arguing. I haven't seen it so much in blood, like mother and daughter, and they still married type of thing. But I definitely have seen it in the new mom, like the stepmom, a lot, where there is like, man, you're doing too much for her, and like, I'm, it ruins them for the relationship. Like, I promise, if I was able to just take exactly what we're saying and move it around and talk about how the mama's boys are the same way, because I do want to get there. It's exact. There's no difference on how lame I think they are
I'm not
as far as
disagreeing
not
with you.
being.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. What I'm saying is, what do we do to get to the resolution? How do we identify? How do we call the individuals out on that behavior so they'll know this is the issue? This is what men don't like. This is how you move forward to get that guy that you've been saying that you want, the preferred one.
Yeah, well, that's a lifelong process. Like I was saying earlier, it starts with y'all gonna have to argue. That woman is not changing because some good guy comes along and says, "Don't do that no more."
I disagree.
I don't. That guy is getting older. Her father's getting older. He's getting sick. She's not gonna cut him off to be with some guy that may not work. Daddy is there. He's proven himself. That's not. That's
Right, but boyfriend giving her something totally different from daddy.
all
So
her
at
boyfriends have,
at
right?
when no, because he didn't tell her what the fuck he needed to tell her for her to elevate as a woman. But now you got this real man that's coming to you telling you what it is that you need to do to elevate as a woman, not just coddle you, not just do the shit so you can get more money from your dad to help y'all out. He don't want no parts of that. Like you do have those dudes that really want that chick to himself, and he'd be like, "Yo, like your dad ain't got to do that. Like I got it." We'll go to the dad and be like, "Sir, like I know, like you do have some of those guys."
Yeah,
I feel like I know a couple of them that
I
really
do.
fought for their wife to that really fought to prove to that father that you can fall back. Like I got this, because that demeans a guy, in my opinion.
It that's my so that's what we that's the whole point. But you've also proven it because they have to fight to prove. That's arguing at home. That's you saying my daddy would do it this way. Hey, stop talking about him. This is how we do it. But I'm just saying that type of way. Or there's a million ways that goes. Because like I said, she's 100. That's like if you make yellow box macaroni and I prove it to you. I can show you scientific proof where the blue box is better. You're not going to turn that switch off. It don't matter how much more sense it makes when you're used to your creature comforts. And we are creatures of habit. That girl is getting things that nobody else is doing for her, and daddy don't want nothing in return. That does not turn off because some new guy makes sense. That guy could probably, be spot on. That's not going to change that overnight. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to like show her how he's more important or how he should be more important than her daddy. And that's what's next to impossible. Because like I say, through all the men she's ever been around and been with, the one consistent is daddy. And he still does, even when she mad and talking crazy, he'll still take her car. Marcus said, if I had a girl, she'd have me wrapped around her finger, and you are 100% accurate. I would just want somebody to kick me in my butt, man, and get me together. Because there is another reason why daddies do it, and that's because you'll always have the love of that daughter. If you put in and you go all out and you spoil her, you will get that love forever. And that's addicting. The same for like moms and mama's boys who ruin their sons for relationships by doing everything for them, not really holding them accountable, not saying, well, you got to figure it out, not allowing their lights to get cut off or stuff like that. You know, they can always count on mama. So when Erica don't do it, like Erica to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like she has to prove to me why she's more important. We've seen it in movies. I just know some personal people, but we've seen it in movies, and that's pretty much how it goes. That man can't let that mama go. He tries, or he tries to make her feel like he has, but that's a comfort unlike no other. And that mom has a hold over him, and vice versa. Like the father has a hold over the daughter for the same reason. But I truly believe those are just ways that we mess them up for adulthood. And because like if my son has to date a daddy's girl, I feel like for the most part the daddy would like Emery, but that's still his baby. You know what I'm saying? Like she still comes to him, so it's gonna be just tough. I worry about stuff like that, about how entitled they are and how they feel like this should just happen because I'm me, because I'm Erica. You know what I'm saying? Like it should just happen. And my boys, I don't want it's gonna be what it's gonna be, but I would rather them be with someone who knows how to be a wife for today's day and age, who knows how to be a wife, who knows how to nurture and pray for their family and keep things in order. But now that's just what I want. We know how that goes. But I feel like not intentionally, but we're ruining our kids. And a lot of by trying to do what's right, because overcompensating is what we do when stuff ain't right. We want to try to make it right, but it usually takes really hard work. We just can't get to it because this year I buy them something, buy them an Xbox. I want to thank you, mom. That's easier than diving into mama's mistakes and the things that mama choices mama made to get us here.
I just feel like everything that you're saying is valid, but it always goes back to the core of healing. If she's ready to heal, she'll receive what her boyfriend is telling her. If the mom is ready to heal from, baby daddy leaving or whatever, him not having an Xbox wouldn't really matter. Um, I think those are mother issues, dad issues, like whatever, to the point of, I guess, the shit that they possibly went through. Not quite sure, but I've never really cared about giving them something to keep them content. And again,
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just speaking about me. Like,
Yeah, me neither.
you mad at me? You'll be hungry later on, motherfucker. You'll come and talk to me. Like, it's just certain things I never really cared about. And hey, call it my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Call it the masculinity that I had. I'm not quite sure, but that wasn't important to me. Um, but what you're saying, like I said, I feel like it's valid, and I do feel like it all kind of boils down to they got so much more healing to do. A father shouldn't want his daughter to solely depend on him, in my opinion. Like like those are issues that he really thinking.
I'm old. Tell him
He
I'm on
really
TV.
he really feel like y'all should know that he brought dinner home. Thank you, Duncan. All I wanted was a thank you. Um, it's just rude and disrespectful over here. Just rude and disrespectful. Um, yeah, I think he shouldn't want that because one day, you may not be capable of continuing that. You may not be capable of, giving her what she's used to. So to set her up like that is unfair. You feel what I'm saying? I agree 100%. So it ultimately speaks to him needing her
Daddy.
or someone to
Yeah.
need him.
Yeah. It
Him
turns
not
into
feeling
that
fulfilled, with himself. So he got to
yeah.
do all of this. There you go, kid. We was looking for you.
Because he knows that if he does all this stuff for her,
She's gonna be there
that's
regardless.
love. Yes, that's a guaranteed love when everybody else kind of goes away, which could be his coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Something he learned, whatever. What the reason for me right now don't matter. I just feel like it really just ruins us in the long run. Maybe not so much at the house, but I've seen it also when parents who are not necessarily good parents, but will throw money at the kids. What after they tell them no, I hate you, f you, you ain't never done nothing for me. I'll be sitting there like, what you say? Because they're so used to getting their way, so used
Yeah.
to daddy or mama, whoever, doing everything for them for years and years and years. I'm like that selfish part. Needs some counseling to get over that. Because there's some stuff that you've attached yourself to from your daddy doing it, but you've attached yourself to it, and now you know if it's not like this, it ain't right. If it's not like this, I can't do it. I got to have it exactly how I see it, or we can't move, and that's not fair. It ruins us. Kia said, "Parents." Oh, what did you finna say? Oh, Kia said, "Parents shouldn't want their kids to solely depend on them. We got to teach our kids how to be independent, and that was extremely hard."
I think a lot of parents don't do that because they're afraid of their kids catapulting higher than them. I think a lot of parents keep their kids stagnant, so they can be like, all right, I ain't that bad. Not realizing that you passed on your messed up trait to your kid. You feel what I'm
It's
saying?
usually not intentional. I promise. It's usually not always, but it's usually just a byproduct of them not being healed and having kids,
Yeah.
and then raising them that way. Or you miss something, or you admired somebody else's relationship as a kid. And you said, "When I have a daughter, I'm gonna do it." It could, the reasons are endless, but the result to me is the same. They're not good partners, good life partners. They're not good people to be in long relationships with because you're selfish. I've seen it. I've seen it plenty times where parents get so used to it themselves that they fight it too.
Mhm.
They won't release the kid,
Mhm.
and the kid feels like, man, this is mama, or man, this is daddy. I really
Mhm.
can't just cut them all the way off. Let me just try to back up. Then you get so much pressure. Well, you backing up. I feel I ain't talked to you in a couple weeks. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, which actually may stem from damn, yeah, may stem from them needing needing their companionship so bad. The parent, it
Needing
may
their
stem from
children's
them,
companionship.
and they were just used to it as kids, and they grew up teenagers, and then they grew up 20-year-olds. Now they finna get married, or they trying to. You know what I'm saying? And mama still only got the kids.
Why
You
that
know,
child is married with a family of their own.
or trying to get. You know what I'm saying? Trying to move on. There's just so many things because I just feel like it ruins us, not on purpose, but you can't expect. Excuse me. You cannot expect how your parents treat you from your romantic partner. I
I
think
agree.
that's foolish.
I agree.
I think it's foolish, but I do think we put a lot of those demands on our mate to do it how I've always seen it, but how I think works best. I'm not even really interested in trying nothing new because I know this one over here works. Let's just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think it ruins us horribly.
I think it ruins in the sense of self-identification, like them really knowing who they are. I don't think the kids know who they are because they take so many of their parents' traits or mom traits or whatever, because that's, like you said, that's all they used to, or that's all they know, or whatever. um I don't know. I disagree with a lot of things that parents do. um I disagree with a lot of things that parents say. I just believe in beating the hell out of my kids. I always did. And a lot of parents don't really believe in that.
Yeah.
You know, um, as you said, they revert back to what they went through as kids, and I didn't like that, so I don't wanna. I
Not
just
did it work, but I ain't like it. So
I didn't like it.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll wait. I'll let you guide that. They beat the hell out of me, and it worked.
It worked on me.
It
I
worked.
didn't, and to be realistic, I didn't deserve every beat down I got, to be
I
real.
agree. I agree.
But 7 or 8 out of 10 I did.
I about did. Like, I remember
You
when
know what
she
I'm
used
saying?
to say, "This is for something you probably
Something
did
you
that I didn't
probably did
know
right.
about."
Yep. After they
I
be
thought that was
wrong. Oh
bullshit.
my God, that's the
I thought that was
worst.
bullshit. No, just say you fucked up. Like, you're
Nigga, you
wrong. Like,
missed. Right.
just
You missed,
just
nigga. You
just
missed
say
that.
that. You feel me? Like, that one don't count because you didn't catch that. It was probably about 3 or 4 of them, but
Right.
nevertheless, you
You didn't
ain't
catch it.
catch it.
Yeah, exactly, my
So
nigga.
I'm
Back up.
excused from that.
I know that's right. If I make it through and not get caught,
You can't penalize me. That's double
why would
jeopardy
you
in the
do me like this? Boy, what type of nigga is you? I used to wonder this.
Mr.
What did he
Say,
say?
parents these days don't drop the kids out the nest and let them fly on their own. And you look
Facts.
up and you have regrets against the parents, and they're still attached at 30. And they don't know how to navigate. I got to call my mama because I need to set a doctor's appointment. You how old? You did. I got to call my mama because I
That's
got
a
this
whole
bill, and I
nother
don't know.
thing.
And I don't know how.
Ooh, wee.
You said so. When you say it, like, in that perspective, I
It
agree
does.
100%.
It does because, like, it's like this little movement kind of starting up where it's like, don't put your kids out when they're 18. Um, Overall, I feel like the idea of that is spot on,
Hmm.
but I don't care how old you are, you're not going to disrespect me and my stuff.
Hmm.
That's really it. I don't think people just get put out for the most part. I'm sure there's some exceptions. I know somebody may say that on the comment, but for the most part, when it's just time to go.
Hmm.
If you're ready or not. If you're not ready, you need to humble yourself while you're in my house,
Hmm.
or you gotta go. I don't care if you're not ready at this point. To me, that's not the same as somebody turning 18. All right, time to go. Mama got to live her life. No, clearly not. But I feel like just because you're not ready don't mean you're not going to stay up under my roof and talk crazy to me and do. If I can give you a curfew, I don't care. If I give you a curfew, you got a curfew. I promise you this, and my daddy told me this, and he stuck to it too. He was like, in my house, you're going to do what I tell you to do. There's no questions about it. He was like, when you get yours, I promise you I won't say nothing to you about how you do, because that's yours. And he proved it. I know he used to call my place the den of iniquity when I first moved out. We was partying every day. You remember 211, beer, the Steel Reserve.
Reserve? Oh my God, the gasoline?
Yes, that was unleaded regular. I swear to God, it
Oh
was.
my
Boy,
God.
we used to do double deuces, 40 ounces. I'm talking about daily with about 9 to 15 blunts a day. I mean, playing spades, running women, just, what I'm saying, acting a fool. But he was like, he called it the den of iniquity, but he never said nothing. He was mad. Now, he was mad that I was doing all this. But, that type of stuff sticks with you, but they won't get out. Who gonna leave? You think about it. It's like I was saying about the daddy, the daughter who gets all the good treatment. You gonna willingly give that up to go, unless that's your personality, which you would know that as a kid, because she would always have that. You know what I'm saying? But who's giving it up just like that?
Well, I mean, eventually, after you done lost 4 or 5 boyfriends due to the same shit, and this is, the boyfriend is ultimately what you claiming you want, you would think that you would give it up because, hey, what you're seeking, you're not
You're not
getting.
getting.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, and when you say personality, you're absolutely right, because you got some women that's just independent. That's
Yeah,
just
it's
mentally
just going on.
independent. That's just, there ain't no masculinity in there. She's just mentally independent about getting her shit taken care of,
Right.
And I know a lot of them. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of them are really the matriarchs of their family. Even though moms are still living,
Yeah.
like some grandmas are still, but they are the ones that really carry the family. So that's the part that I think is unfair, when your mom is not capable of carrying her weight. Like, she didn't carry it when you was a shorty. She ain't carrying it, as an adult, and you got to step in. And it's like, and it's typically the oldest daughter, in my opinion.
The
Like,
firstborn. You know how it
typically the
go.
oldest daughter. Typically the
Every
oldest
time.
daughter.
Oh,
And then they wonder why she's
I'm
so,
sorry.
stressed out, or, like you when you were saying the other day, them be the friends that one need to check on.
What's
You
that? On my mama though. You
like
right.
them be the ones that you
On
need to
my
just
mama.
call and just be
They
like,
need it.
"Yo, are you
Right.
good? You was
Everything
on my
okay?
mind. You okay?
Everything? I swear to
You
God.
you ain't them flooded your house with you in it, huh? Like
My
like
God.
you
It's
you
tough,
know
man. It's tough.
it is.
It's tough. Uh, I feel like another area that we mess our kids up. I'm just going down the whole line of different things that I feel like that we think is good, but I really believe is going to have the adverse effect. Is us continuing. Ooh, it's gonna get me shot. Let me just close my eyes. Y'all looking, y'all listening. I feel like us continually pursuing our careers when we have young kids is killing them. Nobody killed me? Okay. I feel like it is because it takes us from the house and it makes granny, uncle, the daycare, and the school
Step in.
raise your kid. You get all, you know what I'm saying? I will say this before the comments come in. Uh, I'm not saying don't pursue, don't do anything. Like, don't try to better your career or your life. But I am saying that us trying to go to school with our kids going to school, and then you graduate and you go right back, and you graduate again and you go right back. That type of thing. School is usually the big joker. You can't say nothing to nobody when they say they're going to school. That's seen as, oh, that's so responsible. Da da da. Da, you're gonna be so much better off. Woo, woo, woo. But we don't ever. I've never heard nobody outside of. I haven't heard anybody say you shouldn't be going to school. I've said it a couple times. I'm just like, and it's always met with what? Like, what can you? You remember like a week or two ago, I told somebody maybe you ought to change your job. That was like, what?
You told Soldier
Like
Girl that.
that soldier girl, where's she at tonight? Get her life. Get your life and get on this podcast. No, um, it's a whole different thing because we want to feel like I still got a life. Just because I had kids don't mean my life over, but it really does when you're young and it's just you, especially. Now, there's clearly some exceptions to the rule, and but this is I feel like this is an overall issue where we still trying to do everything at this time, and your kids are losing. Maybe their grades are still good, but they don't know how to control themselves. They don't know how to handle stress. They get so angry, and you want to, well, they need anger management. Well, you ain't even doing that. Like, nothing's really happening because you're not around, so they're left to, and then we make the older kids raise the little ones. And then we want them to be good human beings in the world and not always try to be over stuff, always try to run. It's what they know. It's what they've done forever and ever. And like I say, the stuff you've done for decades is not turning off like a switch. Because first off, you have to see that thing as wrong.
Right.
And that's the hardest part about change.
So that was very important to me, which is why my career isn't starting until I'm 41 years old. My career didn't start, you know, I ain't gonna say 41, I'm gonna say like
I know
36.
what you mean. Yeah,
You
starting
feel
to
what I'm
flourish.
saying?
I do. I get it.
It was very important to me for me to be present with them. It was very important to me for them to know who I was. The guilt rolled me off top, and I'm an automatic hustler. Like, my brain never stops. So ideas have always popped into my head. But my husband was the type of person that felt like I should be home with them. He should sacrifice. He should go out and work. And I think that's why men hold on to a lot of resentment. Not that they mean to intentionally,
It
but
definitely could be. Hey,
I
listen.
think that's why they hold on to resentment, because us as women had that chance, even though we didn't really want it all the time,
Yeah, yeah,
but we
yeah.
still had that chance to go to the recital. We had that chance
Right.
to, go to the basketball game while, you know, the fathers had to work. Like, regardless. And if you got a real man, he gonna choose work, even though he want to be at that recital. He know that rent got to be paid. He know that insurance got to be paid, and he don't really want it to be on her. You know, um, that's the part that I think is kind of unfair.
Marcus says we do not teach our kids how to find a mate.
I agree, because most of us don't know how to.
We don't know.
Right, most of us don't know how to.
Our kids haven't seen us in a healthy relationship.
Right. Even if it's long, sometimes it's still unhealthy.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem. The kids don't have no hope, and and we don't put enough thought into the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like we care more about how they feel than what they're gonna be or how they're gonna be. And the feelings go up and down. Skip the kids when it comes to feelings. You know my motto, for real. And it's not like I don't care about how they feel, but not enough to
Stop
make
what you're
my
doing.
decision move when I feel like it's the better option. I can't expect you to understand it how I do. I'm daddy. It won't make sense to you. It won't. You don't, like I said, I always say, kids don't understand why we make them eat vegetables. They wouldn't do it if we didn't make them. Drink water only. Some people are like that. But for the most part, my kids would drink pop all day if I let them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't get in the shower regularly. They've since gotten better at that. I'm not, just throwing out some examples. But kids they shouldn't be seen as equals because they're not. But that doesn't make it a bad thing. Because they're not. They don't have no experience. Everything they have is because of us. Everything. From their looks down to their little bank accounts, if they have them. It's all because of us. You know what I'm saying? What is Kia says right up the mark is, I know how I was when I was young. What? I know, oh yeah, I know how I was when I was young because my mom worked 2 jobs and went to, thank you. And it's little over there. And went to school. I made sure I worked a decent job to take care of my kids, which is why I'm 20 years in at my job because of stability. The next one says, I only wanted to work one job and I do the other stuff to bring in income. But my main source was was one employer because I needed to be home so my kids weren't raising themselves. Then our third one, I'll wait. All right. As a single mom, I work, but I was blessed to have a job that allows me to be flexible. Yeah, that's a blessing because that's not a regular thing. Not these days. We want those bigger jobs. We want our careers. It's like I know we had kids, yeah. Go and then, like I said, when it goes to school and stuff, you're applauded for going, regardless of how hard. Like it's not just it is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we take it's gonna be hard, but you can do it. Nah, but what are you sacrificing to get your stuff in this moment? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should wait. Maybe you ought to wait a little longer. Maybe you should change your goals. That's something that nobody says anymore. Like, no, you should still be an astronaut in your 40s. Still go try to do it. Okay. You know, it's like sometimes plans change and sometimes we miss those windows of opportunity.
Right.
For some reason these days, we don't want to accept that.
I
We
think it's
want to
because they're
still go for
selfish.
it. Yeah.
I really do. Like, I think it's a lot of parents that, I'm gonna say it again, it's a lot of parents that had kids that really didn't want them,
Yeah.
you know, and they just
And
continue
it
to
didn't
move
grow.
accordingly.
Right. They didn't grow into liking
Never.
them. That's
They
like,
just
dang.
continue to move accordingly,
Yeah.
and it was okay for them, while that child suffered.
Yeah.
My
Well, I gotta pay the rent. I gotta make sure they
Yeah,
eat. Gotta get their
whatever
clothes.
reason. Yeah,
Okay, they want to go on a field trip. I'll let you do one this time. Stuff like that. And not really
yeah.
ever sat and talked and seen how weird your kids is or how they think about stuff and how they think about different subjects about life. We don't really, not enough of us do that.
Because as y'all see, my kid mad weird,
Oh, that was
super
your
weird.
son that came in there?
That was my baby boy. He said, "I just want to let y'all know
All right.
her baby
that
boy
was
bought dinner for tonight."
that's funny. I ain't mad at him. Get your groove on,
Marcus
brother.
said, and side note, I'm all for step parent reform. I've been waiting to get to that What is step
Ooh-wee.
parent reform? You trying to beat the kids?
We need to call Marcus. You need to pop on in.
You trying to beat the kids? What major pain? You major paining on them?
Major pain. That's so funny.
I agree. I had my chance. The kid said, "Yeah, I agree. I had my chance. So when my kids came along, I got to put them first and give them the time they need with me." Like seriously, like I've been wanting to do all of this stuff for so long. Like I've accomplished a lot of my goals. Like I have just being able to be home with them. But I don't think I would have been able to forgive myself for not being there for especially my daughter, like the confusing
Yeah.
times or the major question, like I wouldn't have. So I sacrificed because I'm the one who made the decision to bring them to this world. So the sacrifice wasn't that great, you know.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. I have a good friend of mine I was telling you guys about last week who was thinking about moving from where he's at. He felt like he's done a pretty decent job at raising his kid. So far, the kid's like 9 or 10 or so. He was like, I want to move to further my career. And he was like, and he called me to ask me what I thought. He was like, you gonna give it to me? I was like, why would you call me about a question like that? I was really like tripping. I was like, all right. I was like, if you move away to wherever he was going, I was like, your musical career will definitely be great. I think it's gonna flourish. And your kid will be okay. With the FaceTimes and trying to fly back if the flights ain't too booked, type of stuff. You will do as much as you can because you are, in my opinion, a pretty good daddy. So your kid will be okay, and your career will most likely flourish because I feel like for him is more so just where he's at, my honest opinion. Um, but I was like, on the other hand, if you stay, your kid will be great and your musical career will be decent. It will be okay. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to choose what you want. And he was trying to, try to find a little wiggle room, find some way to justify. Like, you called me, you know how I get down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the kids are first, and I don't say that in a figurative way. I've lived it. I make those sacrifices all the time, and I'll do them again. But if but leaving, that means you're gonna leave him to be raised by her alone. She's soft when it comes to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how's it gonna pan out for him? I just feel like, man, it's time. I was like, I feel you, but just because you're tired or you want something different doesn't mean it's time for that. Just because other people are moving around and blah 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 blah, that's not your story. That's them. That's their. You don't know what sacrifices they had to make to be doing that. You just don't know it. How stuff look online
Ain't what it's cracked up
ain't
to be.
really. It ain't. I definitely get the whole thing. And I gave him a couple of examples of how I've done in with my career. Me moving down here to Dallas I felt like was going to be the best for everybody. Where I can push Emery when it comes to music, I could push Nathan when it comes to this is before music. This for Nate to push him scholastically. I wanted him to be great. The schools in Indianapolis were not good for the most part. And then also like I may pick up something with my music as well down there. That was my goal though. It was more so for them. If my stuff pop off, great. If it don't, great. Now I've truly accepted that. I'm not saying I'm content per se though. I'm not saying I don't want more. But if I don't,
You're okay.
I'm as long as my kids get that great springboard to be great, because I feel like I'll get mine on the back end. I'm playing for the long game though. You know what I mean? I'll say no. I could, like, I swear, and then I gotta get this story. I think I told you about this. I was taking a shirt back to Big and Tall
Did you ever
last
find it?
weekend. No,
Oh God.
man. Anyway,
Quit bringing it up then.
I know it's so hot. I was taking the shirt back, and I got the money back from it. It was like 135. I was like, and I took it back so I can go get the boys some little stuff, like some joggers. They love, especially Nate. Oh my God, this man love hoodies and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna go over to Burlington. So I went to Burlington and spent 200, but I had lost that 135. So I'm out of 335. At the moment, I'm like, we at the register. I was like, I can't find that cash. I'm like, whatever, just swipe it, whatever. I was going to swipe for the rest anyway, so whatever. And then I couldn't find the money. I didn't take the stuff back, the clothes back for the boys. You know what I'm saying? When if it was my stuff, I would have 100% would have taken it right on back.
Right.
I can't find that money up. Money got to stay in.
Right.
But that was another little, well, it may be little or big or something, whatever. That was a sacrifice that I just did. I don't mind making sacrifices for my kids because I really, really want them to be the best. Living for yourself and your kids is expensive. Gee, woo wee. And now I saw you say earlier your kids still young. Huh? Wait till them feet change to adult sizes for the shoes. Over. OV. Nathan wears a 12 and he 13.
Well, I'm lucky in that regard.
You.
But he tall though.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. But like I just don't mind. I don't mind making those sacrifices.
So for me, I think moving to Colorado was a horrible decision for my boys. I don't really feel like it was anything that helped because let's face it, like it's predominantly white.
Okay.
And my son is 6'2", 200 pounds. he is such a gentle giant, but initially seeing him, you're gonna think he coming to stir some ruckus up. But when you hear him talk, it's gonna be like, oh, that's him. So me thinking that I was doing something good, bringing him to, you know, a decent place,
Yeah.
and it just I regret it. I regret it. I don't know if he do, but I definitely do. So I'm happy we didn't stay where we were, but I just wished I'd made a different decision. And then I don't know if that would have been worse or better. I really don't.
Yeah, there's no, yeah, I feel you. But even you having that kind of, man, even you having these kind of thoughts to me is a plus. And being able to say them out loud, I feel like there's a plus because we all do stuff. Like, I'm not trying to act like this, everything I've done has been the
For
right thing.
sure.
You know what I mean? I'm
For
really
sure.
not trying to, but I have been intentional and very, very purposeful. So a lot of the decisions I've made
Was
have
circled
panned out.
around them.
You know what I mean? But we make them mistakes, man. I think I stayed in Indianapolis too long. I think I stayed too long instead of, leaving when I felt like it was time. You live in and you learn. But like if you, like I said, having that kind of conversation, like being able to say that is, to me, is huge. Like, man, maybe we shouldn't have did that. I know I said I agreed to it, but man, we shouldn't. That's good to be, that you're even wise enough to understand that whole concept that sometimes we do stuff that we thought was gonna work out
Right.
and it doesn't. So then now what? You know what I'm saying?
I just
That's
tell
why I
them
mentioned.
like, whatever you want to do. Don't worry about mommy. I can travel. I can, whatever is comfortable for you, because I'm gonna be all right. Wherever I'm at, I'm gonna be okay. But it's not on me to take care of you no more. And he know that.
Facts.
Like he would prefer it the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that I made a ton of mistakes in regards of, raising him. I just feel like some of the decisions that he make is stupid. And I think I would. Like, I'm his mother, so
Yeah, and then
I think
but
I
that'll
would
even out. That'll even out. This is him getting out there
find his way.
trying to see, like, all right, I know mom and daddy said this, but I feel like this will work. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And they got all flat on their face a couple times, and then they'll start to get it. You know what I mean? But I definitely want to be able to trust my parenting because I really feel like I said, I feel like I've done a lot of things with um I've done a lot of things thinking about the end result,
Hmm.
not just what'll look good for the
Time being.
people,
Hmm.
like down the line type of stuff that's ugly. I remember this ain't really ugly, but I remember I used to make Emery go around to 3 random people at every grocery store, whatever we did, 3 random people and ask them 3 questions. And that was met with a lot of he shouldn't be doing that. What if somebody, kidnap him? All right, you've been a little extreme. I'm gonna be right there. You're
Hmm.
gonna have to kidnap both of us. But because it was that's unconventional. Ain't nobody tell me to do that. I didn't ask for advice for that. That was something that just kind of dropped into me. Because I'm like, you want to be this, world renowned musician, but you shy and quiet. You know, uh, when you're on, you have to be on, and that
Hmm.
means you have to be a people person. You don't have to be like me. Definitely not, making you be like me, but you need to have more of what I do, type
Hmm.
of thing. You have to be able to talk to people and be able to, keep up a decent conversation and be able to hold your own, and then keep in touch with people even when you don't necessarily feel like it. I can't tell you how many doors for me, and this is like I'm giving real examples of how I've done. Like I can't tell you how many doors have been open for me just staying in touch with people. Just say, hey, what's up, bro? I ain't talked to you in a little while, just checking in. That next month, you're like, yo, E, I got a song I need you on, or we need to fly you. Now I'm on their mind, and man, I think that nigga was a pretty cool guy. Whatever, however they thought process is,
Hmm.
but it's from me. maintaining these relationships. And, also not just, we don't really talk about music. Most of my friends, my musician friends, we rarely talk about music unless, we have a gig coming up or something. It's life, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to show Emery how to do that, and sometimes those 3 questions would turn into a whole conversation. And then some of them white, and it'd be white people, Indian people,
For sure.
they would come, I really appreciate you doing this. This is a pretty good idea. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm just looking out for my child. Like, I don't feel like because your kid has an issue that has to be it forever. I feel like if you recognize it as the adult and parent, there are ways to, if not take it all the way away, make them be better by the time they're out your house in that area. So if they're liars, I'm talking about any kind of thing. If they're liars, if they were, hurting themselves, how you was explaining about yours earlier, whatever it is, once you recognize them, I feel like the goal should be to knock as much of that stuff out before they leave. Because it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a tedious uphill battle if that's a part of their personality.
Yeah, but the thing with cutting is it's so easy to hide. You feel what I'm saying? And then when they move out, that's the worst because you can't keep an eye out on what's going on. So, i.e., she can be mad about something, right? And her way of diffusing it is to cut. If she was here, I would be able to see her go through. Like that's what I'm used to. That's my routine.
Yeah.
Seeing her walk through, seeing her mope, seeing her, isolate. What's wrong with you? What's going on? When she's gone, I just gotta go off with a tone of her voice or, FaceTime her. FaceTiming work.
To an
Thank
extent, yeah.
thank God for that because if it was a different time, I'd been screwed. So some things, yeah, but some things no, you can talk about it. They can be good with it for a little while, but then something can trigger and it can, open that wound up again. So
yeah,
I'm very good at holding individuals accountable. I'm very good at that. So they don't like talking to me because I ask a lot of questions. And when I say they don't like to, it's like, do we gotta do this again, Ma?
Come
Yeah,
on,
sit
Ma.
your ass down. So um I need to talk. And then once I'm done talking to him, they better hope my husband don't know about it because he's gonna come and he's gonna give his lecture. So I sometimes feel bad for my kids, and I think sometimes I spare them because I know he gonna give it to them, honestly. And taking a lecture from my husband is a lot, like a lot, like a lot. So
Don't do him like that.
I'm like, that's military. So like that's detailed. That's like he got to paint a picture. He got to color it in. He gonna cut it out.
I need you to know
He needs you to understand.
everything.
So,
Yeah.
right. And he gonna break it down. So I just I think that us having this dialogue, I think that us making individuals aware and holding them accountable, you don't always have to bend over backwards because you made mistakes. Sometimes you can apologize for those mistakes and keep it moving. Like the overcompensating. Like that's not always warranted. Because some kids don't even deserve it if you really want to know my truth.
I think it just ruins the kid. That's the easy way out. That's the easiest fix that we can come up with as parents is just to overcompensate versus really getting in and dealing with the stuff. Yeah, I think that's around. Street says, facts, E. I'll give my all for my kids, especially with, there we go, with having a son with autism. That is get difficult at times, but I really just be worried about if I'm doing right by him. That worry is dope. That worry that if you're doing it right or not, that should keep you on your toes, and it should keep you guys humble, you and your boo. It'll keep you guys, constantly looking to make sure that you guys are doing well, well by him. That's actually pretty dope, man, and I commend you for even being around. Kia says, yeah, because I feel I have been in Georgia too long. 2024, when Ken graduates school, my goal is to finally leave. You going to Ohio? No, that's a good idea. I do know. I hope she's still on too. I do know people, Kia, that really really mean well, but set them type of goals and never really reach it. It really becomes an excuse. Folks really really be wanting to leave, but sometimes it can be hard to. So just kind of, which I'm sure you are, just kind of make sure if that's your plan, just kind of
Make a
have a map,
plan.
have a
Right.
road.
Make a plan versus just jumping
Just like,
into
okay,
something
so
else.
like things will be better in another year.
Hmm.
That ain't it. That ain't how I go. That
Especially if
just ain't
you've
how
been
I go.
maintaining and making it and you
Something's
good
gonna come
like
up. Y'all car gonna break up just before what
hmm
you know. So yeah, yeah. But that's it.
I'm hungry.
You hungry? What you trying? Oh my god! You see, that's why you need to snack like me. Tia, if you don't mind, can you play the "Not My Son" video? Got a few for y'all. One more time. So that is a. Oh, am I still muted? Oh, here we go. Don't worry about it. I'm getting the hang of this. That was a meme I saw a couple of days. I've seen it before, actually. Matter of fact, I think I posted it. I think I saw it in my memories a couple of days ago. And can you show it one more time, Tia? The caption says, "I'm so sick of this mess, not my son." The picture next to it was of princesses and him trying on the princess shoes. I remember the very first time I posted this, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Very first time I posted it, I got hit with the anti-gay stuff. You all against gay people. Okay, whatever. But like now that with so many people today complaining about men not being men and all that comes with that, you can't have it both ways. There's, you know what I mean? Having a gay son is not what I'm talking about when I'm saying this shouldn't happen. Um, I used to play double dutch. I used to try with my sisters and my neighbors across the street. Cause I had no brother.
Right.
It was just us. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I tried. When that cord hit me, that was it.
Baby.
Cause we ain't had no jump rope. We used
No,
one.
you
You
had
remember them
extension
long
cords.
or that phone cord? You remember the phone cord that you can take all around your whole house with
Yeah.
the extent? Yeah, that's what we used to. That's what the
Yeah.
girls used to use.
And we used to
Boy,
double it up.
yep, you
And
had to
we
double
yeah.
it up, and then you go
Mhm.
to jump, and that mother hit my doggone leg. I think I've cursed that whole activity ever since then. It's the worst, but so I definitely don't mean anything about if your son is gay. This to me means stop trying to make this cool for everybody to do. And it's not so much clearly it's not so much the princess clothes or per se. It's the whole it will confuse the child's mind if he's not on that path already. You may open up that kind of door. If I'm trying to word this correctly, you may open up some things because especially I remember boy when we first had little Emery. I was overdoing the whole man stuff because I'm like, you don't know how these kids is becoming gay these days. It's just whatever. They need more men. Um, to an extent, I think that was the best. It was for me at the time the best course of action. But allowing them to play with, things that's supposed to be for women will give them a different kind of perspective on life. And if we are lacking men, like real men, adding that type of play to your child's regimen, I feel like it's going to have the adverse effect. You'll have more passive. What's the term for the men? Well, I don't know. But like soft. I can't think of the term for it. Whatever. But you'll have more of that than you will the masculine men. And I believe for the most part that type of stuff happens with women. They kind of push for that more so than heterosexual men.
Push for like the dressing up and
Yeah, to do,
all of that.
to let the kids do whatever they feel in the moment. Like, I think that's wrong. I don't know that that's wrong.
I got 2 sons. I wish Aaron them would. I'm almost positive they'll be like, I wish I would. Like, and it wasn't nothing that, oh, you better not, or you. My daughter more played with my boys' toys than, her. Like, my daughter was never really one to play with dolls, or, she was in between 2 boys. So she was always the rough one. She loved to wrestle, and so throughout this whole conversation, I've been trying to, like, my daughter is just not a daddy's girl. She is, but she's not. Like, my husband didn't make it to where she solely depends on him. So she learned that she wanted it different. Like, she don't come to her dad and ask him for nothing. She'll go without. Um, her dad'll have to make her check your cash app. Oh, thanks, Dad. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on that.
On
I'm
what?
sorry. Just the daddy's girl and how men don't find nothing wrong with it.
What you mean?
When you were saying earlier how fathers ruin their daughters,
Hmm.
I've been sitting here and I just couldn't hold it no more. My bad. But I've been sitting
No,
here playing in my head, like when I was saying to you at some point, it seems like one would not want that anymore. And you was like, well, why would they want to change it when it's been comfortable, it's been working for them? So I've been trying to logically receive that, and I have. You feel me? And I've been trying to dissect it because it got to make sense to me, y'all. It just do. It got to make sense to me. And that's when I put my husband and my daughter in those shoes, and I guess I can honestly say that he didn't ruin her. That was my point. I ain't have to go
yeah.
around the world to say that. Like, we
No, you got it.
diligently worked to make sure, you know, that she's self-sufficient.
Yeah.
He gives it when he
Now,
wants.
yeah, yeah. Now, I definitely didn't mean this for every single person, but I do feel like the majority, even those that don't feel like it is, they have some residuals that are messed up from their mom or however you are, mama's boy or daddy's girl. That stuff is there for the most part. Clearly, it's not everybody. Like Tia said, all daddy's girls aren't ruined. No, I'm one of those. That's what's up.
Right, right. Like, that's what I was, because I'm not a daddy's girl though.
Yeah,
So
but
it
no,
none of
you
that
would be
fit
hard
me.
pressed. You would be hard pressed to find any daddy's girl that said, "Yeah, my daddy ruined it."
Mhm.
You know what I'm? There's I've only spoken to one actually that was like, "Yeah, I can see how my daddy messed
Mhm.
up." Nobody. I know a lot. Just dealing with one not too long ago. Didn't see no problem with. I feel like he did it right. He just set the bar, type of thing.
And that's
Okay.
the issue.
Okay.
Right? Because
Yeah.
no boyfriend will ever meet nowhere close to what a
Yeah. It's
dad
not
can do.
happening because if he's not giving his all, if he's not letting you, complain and whine and blah, 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 and still do for you, he ain't the one in your
Mm,
eyes, which means
mm.
you might as well get with your daddy.
That's the weird part. Like that's what's been bothering me the whole time, because it's like these daughters not understanding that they are ultimately having ancestral relationships with their father. It's just
Minus
not
sex.
sexual.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, um, I almost feel like women who did not have fathers like mine are angry, bitter, resentful, and have a harder time relating to and being wives.
Maybe.
Um, I don't know. I didn't have my dad. I don't know if I was ever angry or bitter or resentful for not having him, but I did have someone that took his place that was, in my opinion, better than him. So, and then the stepdad, it's hard for me. I don't know. It's a thin line with the stepdad thing. So I'm gonna leave that right
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not really sure that I honestly don't think daddy's girls or mama's boys equip them for a spouse
right.
at
It's
all.
false. It's false. It's misleading.
At all. And if we look at the arguments we have, because if you're married or like close to getting married, you're not having no new arguments
Hmm.
the whole time. It's gonna be the same one in different form. Um, if we really take a look at those arguments, or disagreement, whatever y'all want to call it, cute stuff, um, you'll see where it stems from, and a bunch of it is you, the perpetrator, the daddy's girl or the mama's boy, you, that person, and that spouse, trying you wanting to do stuff how you've always done it or how you see it, how it should be done. Your spouse trying to give a different perspective on how things should go,
That's
but
gonna be a
your
clash.
your will has to win for the most part.
Hmm.
And then if you do sacrifice, quick to let them know. Well, I did this because I'm gonna let you. You know that type of deal, which is you know, I, like I say, you'll be hard pressed to find any daddy's girl or mama's boy that say they not really fit for a companion. It's kind of hard for anyone to see that, especially because their daddy or their mom was clearly uh, had good intentions. They wasn't trying to be incestual or nothing weird. They were just really doing, and then plus they've gotten the benefit of their mom
From
or,
all
or
of that.
dad doing
Right.
it. They winning. You can be mad at your daddy and say all this other stuff, and he'll still do. You can not call your mama on something and she'll still do for you. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough cookie. But I think it does mess us up when it comes to relationships because the expectations are just weird. And nobody's doing it. I remember I know a case where the wife was a daddy's girl. The guy was not. He was a man's man. Like, yo, you got to cut your daddy. You got to stop your daddy. He got to stop. Well, why? It was a bunch of fighting back and forth. Um, and the guy actually ended up talking to the girl's daddy, like, yo,
Chill.
you got to stop. And he stopped for a little bit and then kept at it. Like, it's crazy. I was like, man, this man came to you, like a man was like, yo, back up,
How long did they
couldn't do
stay?
it. Not too much longer. Not too much longer. And then they were married.
Yeah, because it was my husband who pointed out um how my mom ruined me. It was my husband who pointed out. So that's why I asked you that. Because for me, that's my mom. You feel me? Especially where we come from, like shit, it just is
Mess
what it
ups and
is.
all. Yeah.
You feel
Yep.
me? Like it just is what it is. Like
I
that's my
know.
mother. But it wasn't until I hit my 30s and I really started paying attention to what he was saying. And I'm like, well, wait, Man, this uppercut feel familiar. This,
Oh, I know that's right. That's
this
real.
this right hook feels awfully familiar, but I couldn't identify it because again,
That's real.
that was just my mom. But when he came in and he started taking care of me and he started showing me different things and he pulled me away from my family for me to really identify how messed up they were. You know what I'm saying? Because it took that. I was in it. The toxicity was just
You can't
it was
see it.
normal. I
Yep.
couldn't see it
Yep.
floating around. That was normal. It wasn't until he plucked me out and took me to Texas. I was by myself.
Come on,
I had my
Texas.
2 babies, and then I got pregnant with my youngest. Like, dang, it's a little different. This
Yeah.
phone bill sky high. That's when long distance wasn't free yet.
Calling back. Oh my God, I remember them
Man,
days.
he said don't use the phone after 9. Man, you at
I
work
know
all
that's
day. Ain't
right.
nobody studying you. Ain't nobody so it wasn't until he pointed that out. And honestly, I have to say, if I don't thank him for nothing else, I thank him for that lesson because it's taught me how to definitely protect myself and not always blame me. Like it ain't always me. Sometimes it's so that's
It's
why I'm
deeper.
so
Yeah.
right. That's why I'm so keen on holding individuals accountable because of the things that I've went through and how the adults were never accountable, for their actions. So I do think you have a point. I do agree with some women do the most like they do. Are their intentions good? I don't know. That's the line that I'm confused about. Because it just seems like one would look at it totally different. Oh, well, this could possibly lead here. Like, oh, that's what I was going to ask you. How do you feel about individuals choosing who they're going to be with because their parents don't agree?
They're gonna have to learn the hard way.
Mm,
You can make your choice. I put up a status the other day about Kyrie. I think it was yesterday. Kyrie
the
won't win a
vaccine.
championship. Yeah, because he didn't choose to get it. And that's his personal choice. It's to make. But a decision comes with consequences. One of the consequences was sadly during this period, especially even for his home games, he couldn't play because he was not vaccinated. They had
Hmm.
a mandate in New York. New York was the hub for a long time.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they was
Hmm.
like, nah, it's not happening. So in turn, you can't jail. And so now here we come in the playoffs. Two of the best players to ever do it get swept. And so the same for that couple. You just going against our parents as off as they are, they see something in them people. That's why they say it. If you choose them or not, I was saying that earlier. Like I want my kids to have this type of chick, but that's because I see, they're gonna do whatever they want. You know, like you got to learn the hard way. Like it comes with consequences, like positive and negative. It's not always negative, but yeah, you got to see. They had to see, and we got to love them. You can be mad though. I don't. I'm not that type to where you got to front like you got to. It don't bother you because you the parent. Nah, something bothers you. You can say it bothers you.
It bothers me. I don't like my son girlfriend. It bothers the shit out of me. I
There we
feel
go.
like she don't understand the togetherness of family, and I don't like when women try to pull the men away from their family. He can love you, he can love his family. It's not, all about you. Um I do understand that she comes from a different culture, so I definitely take that into consideration. Um she will not like she won't sit down and talk to me because she can't handle me. I've never really went in on her. I just don't accept bullshit. I'm going to hold her accountable for the actions that she's shown, and that's something that she don't like. So I work day to day to let my husband know or to let my son know this has nothing to do with you. I can love you and not like shorty but not disrespect, because there's no disrespect that comes from that way. So I don't feel a reason, what I'm saying, to disrespect just because I'm
Are
mom.
they in your house?
No,
Oh, then yeah.
hell
That's what
no.
I was talking about when they out. You do whatever you want to do.
You
You and
you
mom.
st- you still can, you still can. The drama don't come here. It's just I see. what it's gonna be, and everything that I've said has come to pass. But he like, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I all right, weirdo.
He got to learn that one the hard way. That's it.
So it just, I was just wondering.
Because to be realistic, that balance is one of the hardest balances to make in adulthood.
Mom and girlfriend.
No. Do I give up and say this ain't
Mm.
gonna work, or do I just try a little bit longer? Do I show a little grace? That's one of the hardest things that I feel like adults do even now. So him going through that, like I said, he's gonna have to learn. I hope he don't have to. There's no lasting.
Yeah, me too. I
You
hear
know what I'm
child.
saying? Kids and carrying
Yeah,
on.
because
If
y'all
she's not the
know I'm
one.
stupid. Y'all know I'm stupid. Like y'all know
All right.
that I'm slow, right? So I ain't gotta claim your child. I don't have to. I'll send gifts from afar. But I mean, I'm working on it. I am. I'm really, I pray about it daily.
Yeah. Tia, do you mind playing that next video to get whooped?
Everybody who got whoopings growing up, like, we still love our parents. But people who didn't get whippings, like, they hate their parents. Say, for instance, my mama hit me in the head with a cast iron skillet. I was tripping. I love her. Meanwhile, one of my homegirls is like, you want man Candace at it again. I said, who is Candace? And she said, my mom. I said, you know your mama's first name? How did you do that? I didn't know my parents got first name. I'm a 30-something-year-old man. I don't know what my mom is. I don't. Even when I put the emergency contact, it says Mama Flynn. What's the relation? Mama. I said that already. I know my dad's first name only because my brother is like a junior, but that's it. Like, I don't. Why would I need to know that? Do you want me to die? Yes, they killed. Like, my mama told me she killed me. Like, I'm not finna. I didn't.
But that's how it was, though.
That's so funny. That's true.
That's how it was. Like, I respect more for the discipline, for the stability, for the structure. I
Absolutely.
respect more than you just allowing me to do what I want to do. Because if you allow me to do what I want to do, I'm going to do exactly that to you too. So, I'm appreciative for that part. I do not
Italian
believe in
thinks that
hating.
it's hitting.
Right, at all. I did at
I
one
did at
time.
one time. Yeah. That's a way of parenting today.
I believe in beating the hell out of a kid.
Yeah, I do too.
I just do.
And I'm willing to. I mean, I can say that there's some slave stuff
For sure.
passed on down. I can
For
say
sure.
that. I also know it works. Maybe not necessarily in the moment. I know that there were some things I didn't do because I was worried about that punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why I didn't do it. It wasn't because I thought it was morally wrong or I had some kind of. No, I was like, man, I don't feel like this today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, what I'm saying? I don't want to hit a mouth. None of, I ain't gonna do it. I don't think it's the best. I do feel like if you just beating your kids and that's it,
That's too much.
It won't work by the time they 3. I've seen people be like, whoopings don't work on him. How? How don't what?
Because they've been beating him since he was about 6 months.
Yep, you've been popping him his whole little life. And that's your only method. You have no other recourse, which means you're not parenting. So that whole clip to me just says all kids don't need to be what bull. That's BS. It's 100% BS.
All
Maybe
kids
not
don't
so
need.
much. I know that's what she said. You both. That's BS to me.
Some kids you can just, some kids. I know some kids that if you tell them they can't go to school, they have a whole breakdown.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
Nathaniel is one. Nathan. I can still do this.
Yeah.
And he'll tear. I swear.
Yeah.
That don't mean he don't deserve a whooping at times. Because this is too much. I'm doing this too much at a certain, whatever. That's yeah. But I don't, regardless of how I feel about if any kids deserve it, I do not believe that should be your only mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it should be the last resort type of thing, not just, oh, you getting on my nerves, I'm finna beat you. Or, oh, you didn't talk back at school again, I'm finna beat you. No. And I think too often for us growing up, our mamas did that to us. Get on their nerves, or that was the first response in a lot of cases versus the last response. Let's read another one. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Any discipline without the balance of love is not going to work. Whether you choose to whoop, not what discipline with no love won't work. I agree. I do agree with that. Like,
Oh yeah, okay, I had to reread it.
I agree. You can't, like he said, you can't just beat the hell out of your kids all the time and it just be that. Like, that's gonna create some super duper trauma. Like, seriously, it really is.
Yeah.
Kia said, now I disciplined mine. My oldest probably had a handful of whooping. Now Ken needed whoopings and punishment. She wasn't that bad.
You don't do her like that.
She wasn't
I'm
that
calling
bad.
the people. I'm calling them tonight. I'm calling them because you done done too much. You been doing too much. Leave that baby alone.
Street say, my kids know my look. So as soon as I get them that eye, they already know they're in trouble. That look powerful. Like
That look is powerful.
My kids grown and I still just got to give a look for real.
I will. You know what be pissing me off though sometimes when they not looking.
When you
because they know it's coming.
So if you're not looking while I'm looking, I'm gonna throw something at you.
Throw something. That's the natural response. Okay.
Because you too far from me for me to jack you up. So I'm gonna grab whatever is there. 9 times out of 10, it's probably a remote. I'm gonna be real. It's probably a remote.
I can't throw the remote because I need that in my life. My kids' head big. They're broken.
Street said, but I always talk to them afterwards and tell them what they did wrong and why they got in trouble. And that's really good because, like you said, you have smaller kids. So yes, that's a proper way to do it when you have smaller kids. You know, it was a process because I had to learn not to discipline when I was super angry.
Yeah.
I had to learn, take a minute, and then that's when my talking started a lot more for them to really understand why I feel what they done was dumb versus just being like, that's dumb as shit. Actually explaining to them why I feel. And all kids gonna do dumb shit. It's written in the parent handbook that don't exist. Your kid gonna do dumb shit.
So that means they need a whooping.
They need a whooping.
All kids.
Not all kids. Not all.
Oh, you just said all kids do dumb stuff.
Not all the time. But it don't warrant a whooping though. Like sometimes you can just really sit them down and talk. Like the whoopings and the punishment. Let me tell y'all. I used to get them too. Both combinations. Wop wop.
I hate when they lie. Let me just put that in there for Bernadette and Reverend. They'll ask me which one you want. Let me give my traumatic moment because this has popped up in my soul. They'll be like, you want a whooping or a punishment? Me whooping, nigga, 5 minutes versus a month? Whoop me. They like, it ain't gonna work. I'm gonna whoop you and you on punishment. Nigga! What?
But
all right, sorry.
Wait.
Go ahead.
But wait, you was on punishment for a month?
Sometimes I was bad though. Like, they don't start there. That's where it's at now. That's for little infractions you get a month.
That you've occurred throughout the time.
Yeah. They was pop. Now it was good. Now my mama couldn't stick to no punishment. I'm grateful for that. Very though. That man wasn't budging. You hear me? But it was so good because by the time I was getting month punishments, I was like 16 and stuff. He would be gone all the time, so I could still. One time, let me tell you this one little story. One time he was like, "Don't you get on that phone?" Da, 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 da. I'm like, "All right, I'm finna go out of town." I said, "All right, that's what's up." Why this man called the house and I answered? He was like, "I thought I told you." I hung up so quick, unplugged the phone, threw that mug, and listen, boy, I was scared for my life. That man had me.
I didn't
I'm
get
sorry.
double up. Like,
never.
I mean, no, because it was just her.
Oh my God.
It was just literally, I wasn't really introduced to my daddy crazy until like 7th, 8th grade or whatever. So with her, like she was the soft one, ain't got front. Like she was mad weird. So it was easy to get over on her, right? So
That's
she'd
so
be
funny,
like,
boy.
you can't go nowhere. I'll be like, yeah, whatever. I look, I took hella ass whoopings for my baby daddy. I ain't even gonna say his name, but I took hella ass whoopings for my baby
Oh my
daddy. I ain't got
God.
front. And still went right back over there. Thank God we got a kid together. It kind of made it worth it, but going through it, I was just being rebellious just because I could. Because she didn't
Oh my God.
establish that respect. She didn't establish that, you know what I'm saying? That sense of I will fuck you up. Like she didn't. So I remember one time she picked my body up and put me through the wall. And my body print was through, like she had just.
Man, it's so funny. I would have loved to seen that. I like to see kids get beat too. That's a weird thing. I remember, boy, listen, when I wasn't finna get a whooping, it was like Olympia or somebody else finna get beat. Oh, I sit around the corner, be laughing at how they moving and jerking and stuff. Then they get mad because I go talk about them as soon as they leave. I'm like, you was jumping all around. I used to love it. I don't know. I think I got a problem. Maybe
You
I need to
do.
sit on somebody's couch and talk
You
about
do.
that. I love to see kids
That
get
is
beat down.
ridiculous.
Love it. Let's go to somebody's comments, man.
Street say I'll fuck him up with a 2-piece. Tell him what he did wrong and he'll be good. Soon as he done crying, sit down next to me and watch a movie. Yeah, they know they messed up. They know they deserve what they're getting ultimately. They know.
And if it's done in love, it'll be what it's gonna be. I'm
Yeah.
not, I say beat for everything. I don't mean technically beat when I say it.
Did you
Italian.
deserve them? For me, if they would have explained what I did wrong and why I was grounded for 2.5 for grades only. No, if I'm gonna get grounded for my grades, you ain't seeing my report card till I'm a senior.
I know that's right.
I'm just
I used
saying.
to sneak in the remember the for progress reports. I used to go to the library and change that boy around. I'm telling you, I was something else.
And then she never really asked for them, so I ain't.
Yep, just in case.
I ain't had to. California said them double ups made you think twice though.
Facts. Absolute facts.
I made my kids exercise, like run around the block and read a book or a Bible if they were bad. Now,
hey man, come on with it now.
My husband was military, so what my husband used to do is make my kids do like those wall squats or whatever, holding up the wall. Yeah, I'm surprised I ain't divorced this man. Like
that's
but
corporal punishment.
Now that I he should have done it more. That's when I remember when I told you I regret stepping in when I should have allowed him to be, the man to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he should have done it more because the way that they cried and screamed without him even touching them, like slobbing, it was like that was funny. That was funny. Kid said she didn't took the phone away for 6 to 7 months.
I remember she said that.
It was that long though.
I'm calling the people. Let me get your ass. Let me see. Let me ask my homeboy, my Facebook buddy, what his address is. I'm calling the people on you tonight.
Italian said I once took my son who stole Gorilla Glue from the store to have the pastor teach him about stealing, made him take it back and apologize and work the glue off.
Yeah, that sounds like you had a bunch of time too. Those are dope examples. I got a few of those too, but I beat mine. Used to.
Yeah, I ain't got time for all that. Like, I might need to call you. I might need to do something. So you might need that phone, but you finna take this 2-piece of the biscuit.
You need it.
With pleasure. Taking the phone away or Wi-Fi is equal to death. That I agree with. Like they
Yep.
will fall out, and it's so funny because we really made it without it, yeah. Like we
Yep.
created our own entertainment. We probably done a lot of messed up stuff, but
Facts. I'm not gonna take nothing away from that. But they was the extra.
we made it.
We didn't have all that, and we made it.
We made it. My ex made her kids do them wall squats. Oh my God, them kids cried all night.
Woo.
I felt
Yep.
sorry for them. I felt so bad. Like I had to go to the other room. I couldn't even. Oh,
Listen, I used to make Emery and Nate whole canned goods straight out with the thumbs touching, and if your hands drop or them thumbs ain't touching, I'm popping you with the belt.
I thought you was gonna say your time start over.
No, I did it till I felt like it. They was talking about tears. And they had to squat. They had to squat on that wall and hold them cans up straight. It is real out here.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have none of that. We ain't had, and it's so crazy because I don't feel like I was missing much.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like not having internet, I feel like internet is way too intrusive. Internet is way too telling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to do some shit in secrecy. You don't track me. What do you mean, my location? I'm at Cherry House.
We had a little game night the other night. One of the questions on the card was give your allow the person sitting next to you to go through your browser history or take a drink.
Taking a shot.
That dude said, "Give me the bottle." Well, I was dying. That shows you what the internet be doing now.
Period. Like,
yeah.
Every time we tried to go online, our mom was always on the phone.
Oh, you talking about with dial-up?
We had right. You had
Yep.
to right.
Yep.
And that's when we finally got access to the internet because there was a point where we didn't like none of that was. We thought we was really doing something with MySpace, Hotmail, like.
Right. Yep. I'm not the whole just you go to your room. Once I realized they got more stuff in their room than anybody else, I feel that ain't no punishment for y'all. Emery always had drums in there, keyboards and stuff, and TV. There's an Oasis in there.
Period. I'd rather be in there.
Right. But thank y'all. He probably was like, thank you. Tied it in your mouth anyway, big dude.
I don't know. I was the type of parent that if I put you on punishment and you came to me and asked me about it, then you did get extra time added to it.
I like that.
Lord forbid if I forget you was on punishment, motherfucker, because you was on punishment forever, because you better not come to me and ask me.
Yeah,
so
I know. That's always hard too.
Let Erica just come and sway back and forth like,
Mama.
Hey, what you want? Nothing.
My kids used to try to be all nice. Like, Daddy, I poured you some juice. I drink it. I've always laughed. I laugh at everything, right? I swear I do. Like I genuinely do. I used to be like finna get them about something, right? Talking to them, and they'd do something, and I had to make them leave out the room because I'm finna fall out this chair laughing. And then if I laugh and make them cry because they more scared because it ain't over, it's just you just did something funny.
Intermission.
Oh my God, yeah. I still laugh like that.
You know, he said, but wait, first we had to find a disc that worked. Period. That wasn't always scratched up.
What disc? What we talking about? Oh, you talking about for AOL? Yeah. Yes, that's true. Oh my God, AOL was the worst.
Like, it's crazy.
Italian says I was grounded from phone while I was grounded for my grades. They never gave it back. I know. I tell the letters I used to write. That's funny. I didn't have time. I just was fortunate. Or fortunate, I guess. I just was fortunate ex made money, good money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, her ex made good money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. One more little section, guys, and then we're gonna let you guys get off here. Can you play that last Netflix and chill video, please, Tia?
Damn, girl, I ain't never seen like green apple. They don't make these like they make them back home. No, I was just
Stop. I told you stop.
When you
doing
called me
that.
over to Netflix and chill, and now you.
All right.
I don't understand. I don't understand the humor. Like, I don't understand. It seemed like the mom was behind the camera and whatever, and then she like said stop. After he had turned around and whatever after he was done. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the humor. I don't get the humor.
I don't either. I think that's not cool.
I
Like
don't
as a
get it.
baby, completely different. This little joker walking around, got on the
Rubbing
white
on
beater,
booties.
and got a mohawk haircut.
Like, but know what he doing though? He like gently caressing the cheek though.
It's too much. It's too much. I've seen kids do that. I've seen plenty kids do that, and the parents seem to think it's cute because they still so little. But what are you showing this little man? That's what I mean by you never seen that. I know people that do it.
I've seen the little kids rub on the stockings, on the leg, because your face though.
Listen, go ahead, keep going. Well, I am a regular old guy, y'all.
Oh God. I've definitely seen that, like little boys liking the way that, pantyhose feel or whatever. But I've never, and honestly, yeah, if I did see that, I'm probably gonna pop a hand and be like, what do you, and that's just off of reflexes, honestly. He was repeating behavior. Right. I understand and I agree, but for the mom, like how could you not feel like your baby being violated?
That's too much because of what it's gonna do. I know for some reason it feels like we don't really understand the lasting effects of things we do. Oh, this is innocent. This ain't that big a deal. I remember when, and this is gonna be maybe a little argumentative, but I remember when homosexuality was when they were trying to really push for gay marriage, and people were saying stuff like, "You're gonna open up the Pandora's box to where folks gonna wear to marry animals and all this stuff that was so far fetched in the beginning, but it's all come to pass." And I'm definitely not arguing it shouldn't have happened for the gay rights. I don't like none of that stuff. I don't believe it, but I do respect people's whatever. I'm saying we don't even we don't even think about nothing. We just brush something off immediately without thinking about the consequences down the line. Like, how many times have women been touched inappropriately when they be like, nah, stop? Like, how often does that happen? That happens a lot. People have a lot of women have never even said nothing about it. How many times they've been touched and felt on. But that happens so much. Are we training them to do it? Eventually, you'll say stop after he gets on your nerves too much. But he's already doing it now. So now that's his mindset. He'll do somebody else like that. It won't be just a mannequin at Kmart or whatever.
Because eventually he's gonna start school.
Right.
Eventually he's gonna start school.
And like I said, these teachers is 20-something now.
Yeah.
And they
ain't mind sleeping with the kids back in the 90s. So
facts.
I'm just saying.
Right.
California said when kids are managed, I feel like it's learned behavior. Sometimes kids touch and rub because it's soothing, but when it looks sensual, you can tell the difference. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. Breastfeeding. I know someone who breastfeeds 5-year-olds and 4 and 2.
I knew they did that too.
Now me and Emery had a conversation about the breastfeeding, y'all.
Oh, and about public?
Y'all might be I don't agree with public breastfeeding.
Me either.
I don't.
No. I don't mind. Without it being covered.
Let me fix it.
Yeah.
They've made things to where you can keep that private. I understand when your baby gotta eat, your baby gotta eat.
Facts.
We're not knocking that. But for you to just whip your tick old bitty out and decides to place it in your baby mouth, but then you looking at Johnny like, what the fuck are you looking at? Johnny probably looking at your boob.
That's exactly
Because
what Johnny's
Johnny
looking
can't
at.
help it. But does that make Johnny a pervert?
No,
Or does that
not at
make
all.
Johnny a normal man?
That's biology. People want to change biology so bad. That's what it is. That's what we do. That ain't changing. So
That's the thin line that we talked about earlier. Your children aren't your friends. You can't play with them like that.
yeah, that's one other reason, I guess, too. But yeah, that's too much. You are allowing your like, what's the benefit of him doing that? Like, to be realistic, something made his daddy or whoever that was behind the camera pick the camera up
and start narrating.
You know what I'm saying? So he was doing it before that, and she didn't move or pop him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. So that's not going to end well.
Street said, when I was a kid, when I did shit like that as a kid, I got beat.
Period.
You got something happened for you to correct that and figure that out.
I remember. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I remember as a kid, I dropped a toy at my church one time, and it rolled under the pew. I go down there, and I'm like, you know how you look around first, because you ain't supposed to do nothing. I look around, with nobody around. I go down on the floor looking for the thing, and I'm reaching for it, and this lady behind me was looking down, and she closed her legs real quick like I was looking up her skirt. Told my daddy I was looking up her skirt. I got beat down. And that one I wasn't even, I was really trying to get whatever toy I was getting. But, you know, how can you argue that? So just the thought of me being inappropriate towards a woman. I was little. I was like 7 something, you know. So yeah, that's not acceptable.
Street said breastfeeding is different. Italian said, is it though? Are you teaching them to like breast forever, or maybe not even?
I think it depends on that kid, maybe, and how you're doing it. But I do believe the overall idea of a titty is it's a titty. Like, for y'all, it's not. It don't mean nothing. Y'all see them every day. You've seen yours all your life. But for men, it's just, we gonna look. I'm not even saying you just stare or gawk at people. But
if she turn around and catch him at that time where, you know, they meet eyes, then it's instantly, like Street said, shit, my baby mama told me I was a pervert because of that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfair to him, because he could have just been admiring her feeding his child. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that situation is a little different, because that's your kid. Like, but that's just my opinion. Like, I just feel like if you're gonna breastfeed in public, just cover it. Like,
I knew a girl that did. Her son was like 5. Like, we was in a rehearsal. She stopped rehearsing, pulled her stuff out.
So he got the boob in rehearsal, but going home to a plate of mac and cheese. That's the part that confuses me.
I'm not even sure her stuff worked anymore.
Okay.
If it may have just been like a habit. I don't know. That's so weird, man. It's like, stop. I know, you know, you want to be earthy, and I don't know. I don't ever want to get to new ways that I'm out here looking like a fool. Because some stuff is what it is. Like,
right.
Get that boy a ham bone and sit back.
Right.
Let's finish this rehearsal, please.
He said his baby mama told him he over-sexualized it, whatever the fuck that means. She was probably messed with.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit deeper, you know what I'm saying, than just your general. Because like the way I would see it is a man admiring that woman for making sure that his baby is fed. But that's just me.
And then it's weird to see like how the nipple looks in the mouth of a baby. That's weird, you know. Like, you see how they're eating, I can see him or anybody who has a child watching that. You know, like how you watch how some men will watch construction sites. I know I'll pull over at some sites and just watch it.
You
You know, I know. Me and the boy, we sit there and ask questions, all kind of stuff. But in that same way, it's like, man, this is kind of not. It's intriguing, not necessarily sexually, but this is like, wow, this is what's going on. You know.
I get it. I don't know. I was afraid to do it because of what I had been through.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that I was interested in trying. It was a fear for me. So
that's the thing. It just is what it is, and I feel like we lose when we try to remove all shame from anything. Like shame should be a necessary emotion that we have to experience because it keeps you humble. You've heard those terms like don't fat shame or slut shame or all that other stuff. If you're doing something shameful, you need to feel shameful. I don't understand. I'm not saying that you need to go, fall into a deep depression, but something got to check you. Like what's left to check you? If your own intuition can't get to you, or if you do something, it's like if your pants fall. Let's say something even easier. Let's say you got some tissue on the bottom of your foot. That should be embarrassing to an extent. Not like, oh my God, but it should be, oh, let me get this, let me fix this. That's what it should do, which is what shame should be. If you doing something shameful, don't try to, make me be okay with how you doing it so you don't feel no kind of emotions about it. No, go through that emotion. And if you still choose to, it is what it is.
That's the hard part though. Because you're holding me accountable.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I don't want to be held accountable. So that's the part that just really irritates me because as an adult, you're going to be held accountable. Like, again, I'm logical. That don't make sense to me. So blow it in the wind. She said, but at the end of the day, I'd rather my kids be breastfed rather than drinking all the bull crap that's out there. I'm all for natural. I'm all for natural shit, and what's more natural for a human being than the milk of their mother?
It sounds like your girl watching over your shoulder now, nigga.
As long as she clean.
Talk to me.
Long as she clean.
It sounds like you got some eyeballs over your shoulder, G.
What you typing? What you say? What you said?
You better clean it up. But breastfeeding is great.
You what?
That's funny. No, I really just wanted to challenge us this evening in how we are raising our kids, and if we're really gonna get the desired result. Because again, our parents met. They really, really meant well. Messes and all. For the most part, our parents meant well. They did what they could. And even as smart as we are now, we're only doing what we can. Because there's so many hurt people that are raising other people that are going to be hurt as well. You know what I'm saying? Who can't pinpoint what's wrong or won't put enough time in to figure out what's wrong with their child and then parent them around that versus just giving a whole blanket parental direction. And then we are hurting our kids so much by overcompensating for one not being there or for how we were raised or how we weren't raised. If you had a lack as a child, a lot of times we make that the overall thing that we, shine for is that thing that we lack. So if it was attention, we do that. If I couldn't talk and I was very talkative, we kind of push for that. I just don't think that stuff's going to pay off for our kids as they become adults. Like it's not like all of those things I just named off are what kind of keeps you in your place. Nobody, it feels like nobody wants to have a place. They just want to do whatever, but you're going to lose jobs. You know, there's so many people that have started their own business, not because it was the wisest thing to do, but because they don't want to be told what to do. They can't submit. They don't want to be, why can't I be on my phone on the floor? Well, I was only 5 minutes late. Or, you know, always you still haven't learned when to shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And so in turn, they've started businesses their own. They don't want to be told what to do. And then they got to learn, you still getting told what to do. But all of that stuff stems from how you were raised, and then how you have, and then also how you internalize the things that you're going through. We just need to really, really be intentional and think down the line when it comes to our kids, not just right now.
Yeah, and stop trying to go at each other. Like, make sure your child is winning. If you hate your baby daddy, you hate your baby mama, put it to the back burner. Like, you only got a couple minutes that you got to see and deal with them. You know, that shit. Co-parenting is a great thing when it works perfectly. Yeah, like, cause it's about that baby at the end of the day. I know for sure my baby daddy hate me. You know how I know? Cause he told me. But I still made sure my son called him on his birthday. I still made sure, you know, it wasn't until my son became an adult that I was like, whatever, that's between y'all. But it's like I still made, despite of how you feel about me, I want him to know that this is how you go through life. You they can feel how they want to feel about you, but my goal ain't to turn you against them, you know. So I'm very grateful that I didn't have to go through the co-parenting thing. I just wrapped my kids up and we bounced, to be honest with you. Was it right? Probably not. It probably did hurt, but I had to do what I had to do, you know. Um we definitely just won't, our future is already dim. Okay?
Man.
It's already dim. So to have a whole bunch of individuals who don't care about relighting that light, that's scary. Cause am I gonna be in a nursing home or on a cliff?
Yeah.
like the kids nowadays just don't care. Like they don't care. So let go of a little just to gain a lot.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah. There's a lot more to this. We haven't really gotten on how to co-parent. There's a bunch of other little subjects in this. We may come back with it, or we may just tack it on to some other stuff that we got coming up. But let's really just be intentional, man, about our kids. Like, how do you want your kids to be? That should be our first thought as they're, babies or whatever, till you figure out whatever they, supposed to be. You find that out, and then you push them towards that. But if we not push, like if we just maintaining, like, oh, I got to work 2 and 3 and 4 jobs, oh, I got to always be in school, I gotta be busy, I can't just sit home, I got to be doing something. The kids gonna lose for the most part, man.
For real.
They're really gonna lose. And that's not what we want. I don't.
Not for yours, not for mine.
Yeah. Or anybody on this podcast, amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Guys, it's been good talking to y'all.
As always. As always.
We pushing that envelope tonight, didn't we? On the time.
But as always, it's been amazing. Please meet us back here next week, same time.
Hey.
I am your girl F.l.o.r.
I am Emery.
I hate that still to this day, but see y'all next week.
Maybe you should do me, I'll do you. Like, this is my girl F.l.o.r. and this is I Emery.
No, because I'm a hate I Emery coming out of me too.
Damn.
This is Emery.
All
this
right.
is Emery. This is Emery. We'll need the I. This is Emery. Hey Emery.
So much hate in your life. So much hate. We finna start right back up. We finna end it and start back up because she needs some healing. Y'all come on back on.